without him playing like he plays and like he played tonight. And, you know, I'm the coach. I got to figure out the best way to do this. Some of it's what you just said with substitutions and rotations. Some of it's his teammates recognizing. Some of it's on him. And somewhere in the middle, you know, if we can all meet, he's just incredibly gifted. He really is so athletic that he can make plays through that sort of physical presence and skill package. And we need him. We need him. That's the bottom line.
Before the game, we mentioned that, you know, Ben's adapting period hasn't had to be much because he controls the ball so much. So are you hoping that you can get maybe Jimmy in similar situations so that he can find his spots more easily, maybe control tempo a little bit more?
I think that's fair, Sarah. We've talked before about the environment that I feel like I can most do it. It's after free throws, it's underneath out of bounds, it's on side out of bounds, it's coming out of timeouts. It's something that's really slow, but you know, the game chugs along and you want to let the thing move and share and play and so on. Somewhere in those static type moments, those static type environments is the place that I hope to be able to, you know, give Jimmy the ball.
Coach, how often do you have these conversations with Jimmy and be like, hey, what can I do to help you more? What can we do?
I mean, it's at a stage where for I'm sure him and me, that we've had lots of previous discussions to learn about different things, and I have heard him and he has heard me, and we're trying to get this right. And there are lots of capable people on our team, and what I have said before, and I'll say it again, when it gets down to 92-92, 6 minutes left in a game, you know, he's going to be an integral part of what we do and what I'm thinking. And so we hope to continue to try to grow what you saw tonight.
Five scorers and double figures, all stars, and all of them maybe 2 or 3 points in each other. The pace that you guys showed that offense, what was the pace for that tonight?
Offense?
Yes, sir.
I think Sharon, you know what, we have 10 turnovers. We didn't really turn it over that much. I like it when we play with some level of pace and the ball moves and things are a little bit unpredictable. You know, to just walk it up and call a play, that I don't feel that that's how you really win. I don't feel like that's how you really win. And so I think we had 28 assists, you know, 10 turnovers. That's not too bad. And to your point, when you look down and you see, you know, Jimmy with 14 shots, Tobias 16, Joel with 19, JJ with 12, Ben with 12. That's pretty good distribution. That's pretty good sharing. And I think that when you look down at the bench, you know, you see James Ennis. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing in him defensively. And really, he's known more for being sort of a corner shooter. But I really like his energy and his toughness over the past few games.
You mentioned the turnovers. Ben had 0 tonight. How much of fixing this, I guess, problem you guys have is just him taking responsibility, like, I have to cut them down and facilitate?
I think it's huge, and I think he will. You know, we've talked about this, and it's now at a stage that, you know, we really have to own it. I do. And as the players, with Joe and Ben especially, and they're great about it. They get it. They get it, and it's on all of us. But I feel, to your point, Ben tonight was mindful of that, you know, and I hope that continues. We need it to continue. We really do need it to continue. I think that it points to many different directions as it relates to problems, turnover stuff. And it's quite interesting. If I think it was you, somebody sent me a tweet. I don't know. I didn't send it to you. No, my media. It's like, and I'm reading. I'm like, oh, is this true? And I guess it is true. Like, if they each have one less, we go from whatever we are to 7th. Read a lot, but I did read that. I appreciate it.
I know you talked about it yesterday a little bit about Milwaukee, but this is a completely different team. I mean, you think about it.
Milwaukee or us?
you guys
Yeah.
compared to going up against Milwaukee back in October.
Yeah.
I remember after that game you said we need help. I mean, we need to upgrade the roster, and it just from that point on is when you guys made the 2 trades.
Yeah.
And now you're going back there. Well, what's your thoughts on this matchup?
I can't wait because I think what it is it's a reality check. It really is an opportunity for us to see where we're at. That's why I like those types of games. You want to play Toronto or Boston or Milwaukee, Indiana. Like, you can really get a gauge on where you really are at. And I look at this game that you're speaking about, Keith, mostly, truly, on those terms. To go in there and play and figure out how we're going to guard Giannis and what are we going to do with, Lopez stretching the floor with in Joel and Boban and the tolerance level, for me, continuing to say 7'2" and 7'4" when they spray up a bunch of threes, led, at times by Lopez. I think it's a fantastic opportunity to learn.
Boban's height serves as a distraction to some of the other things that he does well. Like, he's out there setting pretty good screens tonight. He had a strong roll to the hoop. He had a really nice pass.
I remember about 2 weeks ago, I saw these guys play one-on-one, and Ben was in it. It was like Ben and Jimmy and 7'4" Boban. He is skilled. He can pass out of the post. He's got up and unders. He's got, right hand, left hand. He can make a free throw. If that's your point, he's so big, sometimes you miss the point that he's good in other areas. I completely agree with you. He's been a sensational pickup, and he's a great teammate.
What did you make of the Ben and Joe pairing overall? What did you see out of it tonight?
I like it. I like the spirit. It's emerging. It's growing. These guys know it better than I do. They live it as teammates in a locker room. But I think that it's excellent, and it's growing, and it's only going to get better.
I think normally a lob pass to a covering player is not like something you teach players to do. But with Boban, is that you kind of just throw that out of the window?
I think so. And like the players do this on their own. It's not something you'd walk into a shoot around and that we drill that. But like TJ's confident, and Tobias has played with him, and Jimmy's done it a few times. Ben's done it. Where you trust that he's 7'4" and you can feel the switch out, or something's a little bit smaller on the backside, that you trust he's going to go get it, and more than not he does. And his ability not only to get it and finish, or if he gets fouled, make a free throw, makes it even more of a confident, comfortable situation. Thank you.
You wrote a message on your shoes tonight after the tragedy in New Zealand. When did you find out about that happening? And I guess what has been your overall thoughts after?
Today, I mean, it's sick to me. That's all I really have. I mean, it's devastating. It's sad for those families. My dad's not from Australia, but I grew up there. So, and I've been to New Zealand. Great people there. All over the world. There are people who just living their lives, and then for someone to take away 49 or 48 or whatever so people it is, it's really sad. Yeah.
You've been staggered with Joel for most of your career, where you guys, one of you have been on court. Seems like recently you guys have been playing a lot more together.
Jimmy and I?
Yeah, Joel.
Yeah.
Has that been any sort of adjustment?
No, just getting ready for playoffs. Just trying to play with a few things in terms of subs and where I'm fitting in terms of running the game. So I think we're doing a decent job so far.
Did you get a feel from the start of the game that Jimmy was kind of going to be more aggressive this game from the start?
No, but he's always ready to get a bucket.
For you, turnover-wise, was that just there's zero of them? Was that something for you where going into this game, especially after what happened with turnovers last game, was just a focus?
Not really. I think it was just locking in. Every game I try and come out and take care of the ball. Some games I have higher turnovers than others, but I'm just trying to get better.
Looking ahead to Milwaukee, the way they've kind of built the best defense in the league is sort of against what I think Albany are attacking them. How do you pick the market?
I'll know tomorrow with Scout.
Are you looking forward to the matchup? I mean, it's a big one for you guys.
Yeah, every game. We got 14 games. I'm ready to play everybody.
Guys, talk about the offensive standpoint, all 5 starters and double figures, all within 2 or 3 points of each other. You guys really seem to do a good job
out there on the floor, the ball movement, and just the energy. I thought this was a great game where you saw the energy fuel offense, and that came from our defense. But overall, we got the shots that we wanted, and we had a good balance to having all starters get going. Shot distribution was pretty much right in line with a good pace, and guys got the looks that they wanted. So it's just going to be for us a matter of being able to be satisfied with that, and going forward being able to continue to be okay and strive off that, especially with our starting lineup. But that was probably one of our best balanced games in terms of shot distribution and scoring.
Jimmy seemed like you were in a really good rhythm out there, especially when that second group came in. Did you feel that, and where?
Into a bunch of plays that just came out of our type of movement, and he got downhill, made great plays. I mean, he had 7 assists, plus 20 in the game. So he got going early on. I know myself struggled early on, but second half was able to pick my energy up and just pick up the speed into how I was doing things to great minutes. TJ played with some great energy, and so did Mike.
It looked like you kind of got going, your energy got going a little bit when Boban got in the second half and you guys started running a little bit more pick and roll together. Mm-hmm. Is the chemistry really just from you guys being together for so long?
He's not really. He's only my best friend, so we got to know. I know with him that he's such a target, and I kind of have a.
Boy, they told me I'm doing media with you, so I'm here.
All right, come on. I'm familiar with him and his spots on the floor, and I know, with Boban's different. Like with regular centers, most times you don't really get dunked on that much, but with Boban, you don't want to get dunked on by Boban. So a lot of guys back up and play into him. But tonight we were able to get him on some pick and rolls, and he was able to duck in and seal the basket. So we just played off each other.
You came out of the locker room tonight the same way you came out on the court. A lot of energy, ready to attack. Was there anything to that? Anything special about
75 degrees outside today.
You're just in a good mood because of weather? That's all it takes?
Jimmy, did the rest day on Tuesday do anything to kind of help you get re-energized, or was it just the weather?
I was up at 5. Yeah. When you was asleep, I was up.
You were out just working, or?
Mm-hmm, lifting.
Oh, okay, I see. Go ahead.
I'm telling you. Did some Pilates. I got Pilates in the morning, too. No, I just felt good for real. That weather, like 75 degrees, that's my body felt good. We was rolling. I think everybody was comfortable. We realized how important each and every one of these games is down the stretch. So it's time to take it up a notch or two.
I guess that bodes well for the playoffs, weather-wise, considering.
Snow gone. Snow gone. We good. I'll be ready to rock.
Do you think because of Boban's height, people look at him as just a huge guy and maybe underrate some of those other parts of his game that you were talking about? He had that great feed to you on that assist.
Yeah, I think because guys really haven't seen him that much this year. Just see him in a little bit of spurts, but he has more to his game. I mean, we were trying to get him to shoot a 3 tonight.
I was
pick and pop.
He got mad at me because he popped and I didn't throw him the ball.
Wow. But there's more parts to his game that he has that he hasn't brought out yet, and he's very at his size. He's very strong too, so he's not an easy guy to just. I believe half the time he is getting fouled a lot more than what's being called for him with his size, but he'll eventually start to get, I think, those calls with more and more reps.
Brett talked about how important you are to this lineup, and you sense that tonight that you wanted to come out there and just take charge early and get this team going early tonight?
I just go out there and do what I'm asked to do for the most part, to tell you the truth. Play with a little bit of energy, guard, gamble a lot, and mess up on those gambles majority of the time. But I just think it's fun. It's definitely fun to win, but it's fun when everybody playing like that.
Was there a more, how do I rephrase this, but you guys seem to be, you turned a little less tonight. Was it more of an intensity, more of a focus against this team, knowing that they can put it up pretty quickly tonight.
Yeah, we talked about limiting our turnovers and how great they are at getting out into the open floor. And then how great they are at finding an open man at the three-point line. But they got a lot of great young players, to tell you the truth. Hard to guard, can really score the basketball. I think we did a great job not turning the ball over and getting back on defense at the same time.
This was your 15th game as a Sixer, and you've somewhat quietly put together double-digit performances every single game. Is there something about your game or this team specifically that's helped you acclimate so quickly?
I would just say, coach's system and the talent level that's around me has made the game easier for me to get the looks that I know I can make. And, even tonight, I thought in the first half I had a bunch of good looks that normally didn't fall. But I would just say the talent level has been my game. I play in the flow. I play in the flow of the game. I play off other guys, and that's a lot easier to do with the group that we have.
How does humidity affect your mood? Humidity.
Humidity? I'm from Tomball. Like, it's humid all the time. It is hot as hell in that locker room, though. I will tell you that. But I'm telling you, the good weather, it only helps. Makes my knees not ache as much.
You know it's supposed to snow on Monday.
You would say that shit right now.
How does that make last one, guys?
Have you ever
When
noticed
you
any
see all
sort
guys,
of... Have you ever noticed any sort of a trend like that before? Like, I mean, you say the warm weather makes you feel good. Have you ever, noticed a break in games or, had a good game when there's a break in cold weather?
I mean, it's not really all about the weather, but,
Thank you.
when... What? I'm just saying, were you pissed off that it was 75 degrees?
No, but are we just going to ask about the weather for you? We just played a game.
I'm smiling 75 degrees.
This is ridiculous.
Well, whenever it rains and snows and sleet and hail tomorrow, don't say nothing. Don't call me. Don't do nothing. Just saying, it's not bad that it was 75 degrees outside.
It's not.
We want 75-degree weather.
Jay, you have 5 starters in double figures, all within points of each other. Does that kind of give you an indication what this offense can do when they find that cohesiveness together?
For sure. We always have guys that can put the ball in the basket. Still trying to figure each other out. Stretches of games, night to night, where you kind of see what we're capable of offensively.
Do you care about the weather?
In what sense?
Do you have any weather takes?
Wait, hold on.
Do we play better?
Oh, as it relates to basketball. No, I don't. But I have been so for the last 11 and a half years of my career, I've used this stuff called Dr. Hoy's, which is basically like an organic icy hot. And I lube my entire body up before the game. But what I noticed in Philadelphia was that when I would come out for warm-ups, when the icy part was happening, it was freezing. And then when I would take my jersey off at the end of the warm-ups, I was like frigid, frigid. So I stopped using Dr. Hoy's about halfway through the season. Actually, it was closer to like November. But that's my only gripe. That's not the weather. It's like the temperature inside the arena. I just don't understand if it's like sometimes 23 degrees outside. Why is it only 65 in the arena?
Is this the coldest arena in the league?
Yes, it is. And I think actually they've done a study, and it is the coldest arena by at least 2 degrees.
So many temperature takes tonight. I did not expect it.
Do you notice a real difference when you play in arenas that also have an ice hockey team in the playoffs?
Oh, we're really going to talk about this. Let me get a recorder for my podcast. Hold on a second. No, yes, for sure. But some arenas can randomly be cold. But yeah, there's definitely a difference, especially if there was a hockey game, the night before, something like that. You can sometimes get to the arena in the morning for shoot around, and it's frigid in there.
Obviously, on the outside, everyone looks at a game between the Bucks and the Sixers as a big, potential playoff preview and measuring stick game. Is there any of that sense within the locker room, within you guys? Do you look at this game any?
We haven't really talked about that. I would just say in general, you want to feel good about potential playoff opponents and how you match up, and how you play against them. We have them twice more, and so we'll get a chance to see where we're at. They've been fantastic this season and have a great team.
What did you see from Jimmy tonight that made him play well? Was it the time off, you think, or something else?
He was particularly aggressive tonight. I thought, at times, he can get a matchup or have the ball in his hands and just kind of get off of it. I thought every time that he felt like he had a matchup that he just, went at that person's neck basically, and he made plays. He ended up with 7 assists too. So it wasn't just scoring the ball. It was driving, creating havoc. Just a level of aggression, and he's shown that at times for us, and would love to see that every night for sure.